In this book, Desire, Believe, Receive, we're diving into how to not just wish for your dreams, but to claim them, step by step. Together we'll explore how your deepest desires are not selfish, but sacred. How belief isn't just a thought. It's the key to opening your world. And how receiving, it's all about knowing you're worthy and allowing the universe to work in your favor. Desire, Believe, Receive. Introduction. Welcome to a journey that will change everything. If you've ever felt like something was missing, like there's more to life than what you're currently experiencing, then this book is for you. You are here because something within you knows that you are capable of so much more. This isn't just another feel-good read. It's a guide to awakening the power within you to manifest the life you were always meant to live. The concepts of desire, believe, and receive are not just buzzwords. They are the keys to unlocking a life filled with abundance, purpose, and unshakable joy. Through each chapter, you'll uncover the truths that have been hidden under layers of doubt and fear, and learn how to tap into your deepest desires, align them with your true belief, and receive the blessings that are already on their way to you. This is not about wishing for change. It's about understanding that the life you dream of is already in your reach. The question is, are you ready to receive it? Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Power of Desire. There's a fire inside of you. Maybe you've ignored it. Maybe life convinced you to bury it beneath bills, heartbreak, or the pressure to be realistic. But let's tell the truth, you still feel it, don't you? That flicker of more. That whisper at 3 a.m. that says your life is meant to be bigger, deeper, freer. That's not some fantasy. That's your soul talking. That's desire. And no matter how many times the world has told you to quiet it down, that burning ache for something greater is sacred. Desire isn't just wishful thinking, it's spiritual intelligence. It's a signal from the divine part of you, pointing toward the life you were meant to live. But here's the thing. Most people fear desire. They label it selfish or impossible. They shrink themselves to fit into a life that feels safe, but not alive. And over time, they forget how to want. Not because they don't care, but because they've been disappointed so many times they decided it's easier to feel numb than to feel hope. That's the heartbreak of the human experience. We forget we're allowed to want wildly. We forget that desire is the very starting point of all creation. Nothing exists on this earth that didn't begin with someone's longing. The house you live in, the person who imagined a better shelter, the music you play when your heart hurts, someone's deepest yearning turned into sound, the phone in your hand. Desire made that real. You see, desire isn't passive, it's a power source. It calls you toward what's aligned, not away from what's safe. And when you listen to it, truly listen, you come alive in ways you forgot were possible. But here's where it gets real. Desire doesn't scream, it whispers. And if your life is too loud with other people's expectations, fears, or noise, you'll miss it. That's why your work right now isn't to chase the world's version of success. It's to get still and ask yourself, what do I really want? Not what looks good, not what will make your parents proud or your ex jealous, not what society calls impressive. What do you, in your bones, in your quiet truth, desire? That answer might scare you. It should, because real desire stretches you, demands growth. It asks you to leave behind who you've been so you can become who you're meant to be. And it never shows the full picture, only the next step. But the moment you honor that desire, the moment you say, I don't know how, but I know I want it, that's when the universe leans in closer. That's when coincidences start to line up, doors begin to open, and the impossible starts to look inevitable. That's the power of desire. It's not weak, it's not shallow. It's the spark that lights every single transformation story you've ever loved. So stop dimming, stop denying it, and please stop apologizing for it. Because the truth is, the world needs your desire to be fully alive. You came here to want. You came here to create. And nothing changes until you let yourself say, with full courage and no shame. This is what I want. That's where it all begins. Chapter 2. Believe before you see. We've all been taught to wait until the results show up before we trust something is real. We want proof before faith, results before action, guarantees before commitment. But that's not how real transformation happens. The truth is, every breakthrough begins with belief. Not the kind of belief that's loud or flashy, but the quiet, steady kind. The kind you carry in your chest when no one else sees what you see. When your bank account doesn't match your dreams, when your relationship is still breaking instead of building, when the job you want hasn't come and the door you need is still closed. This is where most people give up, because they want to see the outcome before they pour in the belief. But the ones who rise, the ones who create a life worth living, are the ones who dare to believe before anything shows up. They close their eyes, feel the version of themselves they're becoming, and show up like it's already theirs. It's not delusion. It's alignment. Think about it. Every invention, every best-selling book, every movement, every dream that became a reality, it started in someone's mind before the world caught up. It was invisible before it became inevitable. And that's the magic of belief. It's the bridge between where you are and where you're meant to be. Without it, your vision stays stuck in the maybe someday zone. But with it, you start attracting different people, making bolder moves, speaking like you already know how the story ends. And that energy, that's what shifts your life. That's what opens doors no logic can explain. Look, you're not crazy for wanting more. You're not foolish for trusting in something that hasn't arrived yet. You're simply remembering the ancient truth that every dream is a preview of what's possible, and belief is your invitation to step into it. Stop waiting for the world to clap before you dance. Stop asking for permission to believe in yourself. The dream you carry is sacred, and your faith in it is the fuel that sets it on fire. Some people will call you unrealistic, but only until you prove them wrong. Others might project their fear onto you, but don't borrow someone else's limitations. They're not yours to carry. Just because they couldn't believe for themselves doesn't mean you can't believe for you. Let this be the chapter where you stop outsourcing your power. The chapter where you stop needing evidence and start becoming the evidence. Don't ask, what if it doesn't work? Ask, what if it does? And then move like it already has. Every step you take in belief is a step that reshapes your world from the inside out. So believe, not because you see it, but because you're becoming it. The version of you on the other side of the dream? They're cheering for you right now. Keep going. Chapter 3. You are the creator, not the victim. There comes a moment in everyone's life when the weight of the world feels too heavy, and it's so tempting, so easy, to throw your hands up and say, this is just the way life is. Maybe you've been there. Maybe you're there right now. Bills piling up, relationships falling apart, dreams collecting dust on the shelf because life knocked the wind out of you too many times to count. And somewhere along the way, the belief crept in that you're powerless, that you're just another soul caught in a game you didn't sign up for. But I want you to hear me, not with your ears, but with your heart. You are not a victim of life. You are the creator of it. That's not a pretty quote for Instagram. That's truth. Raw, unfiltered, and waiting for you to claim it. The circumstances you were born into, they were never meant to define you. The heartbreaks, the setbacks, the betrayals, they were chapters, not the ending. And the sooner you stop blaming your past, your parents, your ex, the system, or whatever else life threw at you, the sooner you'll remember what's always been true. You have power. Not the kind of power that makes you rich overnight or erases every scar. I'm talking about the kind of power that rebuilds from the rubble. The kind that whispers, you still get to choose. You get to choose how you show up, how you respond, how you rise. Most people don't realize it, but they live their entire lives reacting. They wake up already defeated, playing a part in a story someone else wrote. But you're not most people. You wouldn't be reading this if your soul hadn't already decided it was time to remember. Victimhood is a trap disguised as comfort. It gives you someone to blame, something to lean on, but it steals your freedom. It tells you that life happens to you instead of through you, And that lie, it's what keeps you stuck. But not anymore. Not after this chapter. From this moment on, start seeing your life as a canvas. Your thoughts are the brush, your actions, the color, your belief, the light that brings it all to life. Yes, bad things happen. Yes, it's unfair sometimes, but guess what? You still get to decide what those experiences mean. You can let them break you, or you can let them build the strongest, truest, most unshakable version of yourself. Every person who ever created a life they loved had to make that shift, from powerless to powerful, from victim to creator. They didn't wait for permission. They gave it to themselves. So ask yourself right now, what have I been giving my power away to? Who have I let write my story for me? Then take it back. Reclaim your voice, your vision, your fire. Because the truth is, you don't need a new life. You just need to remember that you were never here to be controlled by life. You came to shape it, to lead it, to live it fully awake. And the moment you start doing that, life starts responding. Chapter 4. Feel it first. Here's something most people don't want to hear, but need to. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you feel. And that one truth right there changes everything. We're not here just thinking pretty thoughts hoping the universe is keeping score. No. What actually changes your life is the energy you live in, the emotion you embody, the feeling you hold even when nothing in the outside world has caught up yet. It's wild how we're taught to wait. Wait until we get the job, the relationship, the money, to feel good, to feel whole. But the secret is backward. You have to feel good first. You have to feel loved before love shows up. You have to feel secure before the money flows in. That's the hard part. That's the spiritual muscle most of us never got taught to build. Think about it. How many times have you said, I'll feel better once I get precio? Fill in the blank. The house, the car, the lover, the six-figure job. But here's the truth no one teaches in school. You're the one flipping the switch, not the world. You flip it the moment you allow yourself to feel what you think those things will bring you. The car isn't what you want. It's the feeling of freedom. The relationship isn't what you want. It's the feeling of being chosen, safe, wanted. The money? That's not about paper. It's about peace of mind, the ability to breathe without fear. So start with that. Start with breathing. Start with the peace. Find the feeling before the physical thing, and the physical thing will catch up faster than you think. When I started learning this, it felt fake at first. I'd close my eyes and try to feel wealthy when my bank account was overdrafted. I'd try to feel loved when I hadn't been hugged in weeks. But slowly, something started shifting. The moment I stopped needing the world to change in order to give myself the permission to feel good, life started showing up differently. A check came unexpectedly. A stranger smiled in the grocery store and gave me the exact compliment I'd been craving. Coincidences became normal. Doors opened, and I realized, oh, this is how it works. This is what they meant by alignment. You feel it first, and then the universe gets the memo. So here's your invitation. Practice the feeling even if it feels awkward. Sit still. Put your hand on your heart. Ask yourself, how would it feel to be fully supported, fully loved, fully free? And then breathe into that. Let it rise up, even for 10 seconds. You just told the universe, I'm ready. Not from a place of lack, but from a place of embodiment. That's where the magic starts. Not when you beg, not when you chase, but when you become. And that becoming? That starts with feeling it. First. Chapter 5. Desire is holy, not selfish. Let me tell you something that might shake loose an old belief. Your desire to live a bigger, more beautiful life is not selfish. It's sacred. Somewhere along the way, maybe from religion, maybe from family, maybe from culture, we were taught to feel guilty for wanting more. We were taught that being content means settling, that wanting something beyond what we have is ungrateful or greedy. But here's the deeper truth. Desire is how the divine whispers through you. It's the soul's way of saying, this is the direction of your becoming. When you feel a pull toward something, a dream, a goal, a vision, that's not your ego being dramatic. That's your spirit remembering what you're here for. Think about it. The oak tree doesn't apologize for wanting to grow tall, and the ocean never says sorry for taking up space. So why do we shrink ourselves when we feel called to expand? The people who change the world, the ones we write about, quote and admire, they didn't mute their desires. They followed them with open hearts and unshakable faith. And here's the wild part. When you honor your desires, when you stop apologizing for them, you don't just fulfill your life. You bless others too. Your light becomes a torch for someone else stumbling in the dark. Your dream, once realized, becomes a permission slip for someone else who's been too scared to start. So stop labeling your longing as selfish. It's not. It's sacred. It's your unique compass. You weren't born to just pay bills and die. You were born to feel the rush of being alive, to create, to love, to dance with the mystery of life. And desire is the very first step on that dance floor. When you feel it, don't stuff it down. Don't guilt trip yourself into silence. Instead, breathe into it. Get curious about it. Ask it what it wants to show you. Because buried in every real desire is a seed of your destiny, waiting patiently for you to say yes. Chapter 6. Your mind is your masterpiece. Your mind is not a mess to fix. It's a masterpiece to uncover. You weren't born broken. Somewhere along the way, the world started whispering lies. You're not enough. It's too late. You're not smart enough. You're too emotional. You should be realistic. And over time, you believed them. But here's the truth. Your thoughts create your reality, and your beliefs build your life. You are the architect, the painter, the writer of this entire experience. The thoughts you think daily, they're not harmless background noise. They're instructions. Your mind is always listening, always creating, always shaping your tomorrow based on what you whisper to yourself today. That voice in your head, it can be your greatest enemy or your most powerful ally. Most people go their whole life never questioning it. They take every thought at face value, never realizing they have the power to choose a new story, a new focus, a new inner soundtrack. You weren't born with fear. You learned it. You weren't born with self-doubt. You picked it up from other people who didn't believe in themselves. So what if, just for today, you gave yourself permission to believe something different? What if your mind wasn't a battlefield, but a sacred canvas where you could paint peace, success, joy, and deep love? What if the stories you've been repeating, I always mess things up, nothing good ever lasts for me, people always leave, weren't facts but just old records that need to be tossed out for good? The power doesn't lie in what happened to you, but in what you decide to think about it. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not the labels they stuck on you. You are the consciousness behind the thoughts, the one who gets to choose what plays on repeat. And the wild part is, once you start shifting your thoughts, even slightly, the world around you starts to shift too. Suddenly, opportunities you once overlooked become visible. People treat you differently. You feel lighter. You speak softer to yourself. You begin to live like someone who trusts their future. This is not about toxic positivity or pretending everything's fine when it's not. This is about becoming conscious of your inner world and learning to direct it with love. Because your mind isn't just a tool, it's sacred ground. And if you want a beautiful life, you've got to start by planting beautiful thoughts. Not perfect ones, just new ones, gentle ones, expansive ones. Might feel uncomfortable at first, like trying on clothes that don't quite fit yet. But with time, they will. Your job is not to control every thought that passes through your mind. Your job is to stop believing the ones that tear you down and start choosing the ones that build you up. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not broken. Your mind is a masterpiece. Maybe it's just time to pick up the brush again. Chapter 7. Silence the doubt voice. We've all heard that voice, the one that whispers in quiet moments and shouts in loud ones. It says you're not good enough, smart enough, strong enough, talented enough. It tells you you're too late or too broken or too far behind. That voice is familiar, isn't it? But here's the truth no one tells you loud enough. That voice is not you. That voice is a collection of fears, stories, wounds, and echoes of other people's doubts that you accidentally adopted as your own. It was shaped by teachers who underestimated you, parents who were afraid, friends who didn't believe in themselves, and a world that benefits when you stay small. But it's not your true voice. Your true voice, the one buried under all the noise, is softer, kinder, and braver. It doesn't scream. It doesn't criticize. It reminds you who you are. It says things like, "You were made for this." And keep going, even if no one claps yet. Silencing the doubt voice isn't about pretending fear doesn't exist. It's about deciding whose voice gets to run the show. Doubt will always knock, but you don't have to open the door. You get to choose which thoughts you nurture and which ones you let pass like clouds. That's where your power lives, in that choice. Every time you hear a thought that makes you shrink, pause and ask, would I say this to someone I love? If not, it doesn't belong in your mind. Treat yourself like someone who deserves support, not sabotage. Because the world will doubt you plenty. Don't join them. Your job is to become the loudest voice of faith in your own life. Speak louder than the fear. Speak softer than the shame. Remind yourself every day, even when it feels awkward or fake, that you're allowed to want more, to dream big, to believe in something bigger than your past. You're allowed to begin again, over and over if needed. Silence doesn't mean there's no fear. It means fear no longer gets the mic. You do. And when you start speaking with love, trust, and belief in your own power, that doubtful voice, once so loud, starts to fade. Not because it's gone forever, but because you finally stopped giving it your attention. And where your attention goes, energy flows. Let it flow toward faith. Let it flow toward the life you actually want to live. The doubt voice has had enough of your time. It's your turn now. Chapter 8. Rewrite your receiving story. Most people aren't blocked from receiving because the universe isn't listening. They're blocked because deep down they don't believe they deserve it. That's the quiet truth most never say out loud. You might dream big, pray hard, visualize daily, but if your core belief is, "I'm not worthy of this," your energy will whisper no even when your words are screaming yes. And the universe responds to your energy, not just your effort. Think back. How many times have you downplayed your desires, convinced yourself that just enough was safer than abundance, or felt guilty for wanting more? That's your receiving story. Somewhere along the way, someone, maybe a parent, a teacher, society, taught you that receiving was selfish, that good things had to be earned through struggle, or that you weren't that kind of person who gets the big, beautiful life. But that story, it's not the truth. It's a script someone else handed you, and now it's your job to rewrite it. Your new story begins when you decide you are not just allowed to receive. You were born to. Receiving doesn't make you ungrateful. It doesn't mean you're greedy. It means you're aligned with your purpose, your worth, and your natural state of abundance. So starting today, speak to yourself like someone who is allowed to receive love, money, peace, joy, time, softness, and expansion. Don't just hope for it. Expect it. Don't just wait for the breakthrough. Prepare for it. Act like someone who knows it's already on the way, because that's how you shift from wishing to receiving. The old story may have been survival. The new story is overflow. You are not here to scrape by. You are here to open, to allow, to rise, and to receive fully, freely, and unapologetically. Chapter 9. Life is responding to you. Life isn't happening to you. It's echoing you. The energy you carry, the beliefs you hold, the emotions you suppress or celebrate, life reflects them all, like a mirror held up to your soul. Most people walk through the world thinking they're reacting to circumstances when really, those circumstances are reacting to them. Think about it. Ever had one of those days where you wake up in a bad mood, spill your coffee, hit traffic, and everyone seems rude? That's not coincidence, it's alignment. Not with your dreams, but with your vibration. The universe isn't punishing you, it's mirroring you. And that truth, once you fully accept it, is both terrifying and liberating. Because if life responds to you, you're not powerless, you're the signal. You're the magnet, you're the one calling the shots energetically. That means if you want different outcomes, you don't have to hustle harder. You have to shift what you're putting out. Speak better. Think better. Feel better. Not because you're faking it, but because you're tuning into the version of yourself that life already wants to say yes to. Your reality bends to meet your frequency. So the real work isn't in controlling the outside. It's in mastering the inside. Want to change your life? Then don't ask, what's wrong with the world? Ask him, what's the world showing me about me? That's where your power begins. Chapter 10. Gratitude is the magnet. Gratitude isn't just a feeling. It's a powerful force, a magnetic field that draws all the right things to you. Have you ever noticed how when you're genuinely thankful, the world just seems to open up? Opportunities come from places you didn't expect. People appear at the right moment, and things start falling into place effortlessly. That's not a coincidence. Gratitude has a frequency that aligns with abundance. It's not about waiting for things to go your way before being thankful. It's about deciding to be thankful right now, regardless of your circumstances. When you choose gratitude, you activate a mindset that says, I trust the process. I believe more good is coming and I'm ready for it. And that energy? It is magnetic. You can't attract the life you desire from a place of lack, but you can from a place of appreciation. Think about it. How often do we focus on what we don't have or what's going wrong in our lives? We spend so much energy on the void that we forget the abundance already around us. True gratitude shifts that focus. It reminds you to notice the small wins, the little blessings, and the beautiful moments you might otherwise overlook. The funny thing is, when you start feeling thankful for even the tiniest things, life begins to give you more to be grateful for. It's like the universe is waiting for you to acknowledge its gifts so it can hand you even more. But here's the key. Gratitude isn't just something you say to feel good. It's a practice, a daily habit that you cultivate like watering a plant. It grows and expands. It spreads throughout every area of your life, touching your relationships, your work, your health, and your dreams. When you live in a state of gratitude, your vibration rises. You stop looking at your life as a series of obstacles and start seeing it as a series of opportunities. When you wake up with a heart full of gratitude, you set the tone for the day. And when you go to bed grateful for what you've experienced, you leave the door open for even more blessings to come. So today, take a moment to reflect on everything you've been given. The big things and the small ones. From the roof over your head to the people you love to the simple fact that you woke up this morning. If you can find the beauty in every situation, you'll see how life in turn gives you more of that beauty. Gratitude isn't just about being thankful for things. It's about being thankful for the energy around you, the energy you're creating, and the energy that's waiting to rush into your life. When you open up to that, you become a magnet for abundance, a magnet for peace, a magnet for joy. And that's how you attract what you truly deserve. Chapter 11. The law of alignment. Alignment is the true secret to manifesting your desires. It's not about doing more, hustling harder, or working yourself into exhaustion. Alignment is about syncing your inner world with the things you want most in life. When you're aligned, everything flows effortlessly towards you. You stop chasing, you stop forcing, you start allowing. Most people think that to attract something they need to do everything in their power to make it happen. And while action is necessary, it's the action that comes from a place of trust and clarity that creates real results. You can take 100 actions a day, but if your energy is off, if you're not in alignment with your desires, you're essentially sending mixed signals to the universe. It's like trying to plug a cord into an outlet that doesn't match. It doesn't work. You have to align your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions with what you truly want. Think of it like tuning an instrument. Imagine you're playing a guitar and the strings are out of tune. No matter how much you play, the music just won't sound right. But when you tune the strings, every note you play flows effortlessly. Life works the same way. When you are in tune with your desires, when your inner energy matches the vibration of what you want, your life becomes a beautiful symphony. You start to notice opportunities, synchronicities, and blessings flowing to you effortlessly. But how do you align? The first step is to get clear about what you truly want. Not what society tells you to want, or what your friends and family expect from you, but what you desire deep down. So often, we live our lives based on external expectations, or the shoulds. You should have this career, you should own this house, you should be in this kind of relationship. But when you're chasing someone else's dream, you're out of alignment with your own. Getting back in alignment starts with you. You have to get real with yourself. What are the things that make your soul come alive? What feels exciting, fulfilling, and authentic to you? Once you tap into that, your energy shifts and the universe begins to work with you, not against you. Next, check in with your beliefs. Do you truly believe you deserve your desires? If your inner dialogue says things like, "I'm not good enough," or "That's too big for me," it's time to realign those thoughts. Your beliefs create your reality. If you're holding on to limiting beliefs or old stories about who you are and what you deserve, you're blocking the flow of abundance. The last piece is feeling. Alignment is not just about thinking and believing. It's about feeling as if your desires are already a reality. The feeling is the magnetic force that attracts the things you want. When you can feel the joy, the peace, the excitement, or the love that comes with having your desires in your life right now, you're vibrating at the frequency of those desires. And when you match that frequency, the universe has no choice but to deliver. Alignment isn't just something you do once and forget about. It's a continuous practice, a way of living in flow, where your thoughts, beliefs, and actions all harmonize with the life you're calling in. So tune yourself, adjust your frequency, and allow life to meet you where you are. When you align with your true self and your deepest desires, the universe aligns with you. Chapter 12. Small shifts. Massive change. You don't have to make giant leaps to create massive change in your life. In fact, it's the small shifts that often bring the biggest transformation. Think about it. Change doesn't have to be overwhelming or intimidating. It doesn't have to require massive, dramatic moments. What truly creates change is consistency in the little things that add up over time. You've heard the saying, "Rome wasn't built in a day," right? Well, neither is your dream life. The foundation of all lasting transformation is made up of small intentional decisions. The choice to wake up 10 minutes earlier, the decision to choose a positive thought over a negative one, or the simple act of choosing gratitude in moments of stress. All these seemingly minor choices stack up to create a life you once thought was out of reach. When you focus on making just one small positive shift at a time, you begin to change the trajectory of your life without even realizing it. Let's take a practical example. Let's say you've been feeling disconnected from your true self. Maybe you're constantly stressed, or you feel like you're just going through the motions. Now imagine if you decided every morning to take 5 minutes to sit in silence, breathe deeply, and reflect on what you're grateful for. That small shift in your routine, over time, could transform your entire mindset. You'd begin to feel calmer, more centered, and more in tune with yourself. Over time, this small shift in your morning routine starts to shift the energy you carry with you throughout the day. You begin to make different choices. You respond to challenges more calmly. You engage with others in a more positive way. And slowly but surely, this series of tiny adjustments, those daily choices, start adding up to a life that feels more aligned with your desires. The power lies in the consistency. It's not about trying to make big changes all at once, which often leads to burnout. It's about committing to the small, sustainable steps that align with the bigger picture of your dreams. These small shifts are like compounding interest. They accumulate, multiply, and before you know it, the life you've always dreamed of starts becoming a reality. But here's the key. Don't expect instant gratification. Understand that transformation takes time, and trust the process. When you focus on small shifts, you free yourself from the pressure of having to get everything perfect right away. It's about making those tiny, positive changes with patience and consistency. Over time, those shifts will unlock doors to new opportunities, new mindsets, and a new version of yourself, one you didn't even know was possible. So, where can you start today? What's one small change you can make right now that could shift your reality? Maybe it's adding 1 minute of deep breathing into your day, saying no to something that drains you, or taking a few minutes before bed to write down your dreams. These small shifts aren't insignificant. They're the building blocks of your massive change. Chapter 13. Faith is a frequency. Faith isn't just a belief, it's a frequency. Think of it like a radio station. If you're tuning into the wrong station, you're not going to hear the music you want. The same is true with faith. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and energy with the frequency of faith, you're tapping into a powerful force that the universe responds to. Faith isn't something you just think about. It's a state of being. It's in the way you carry yourself, how you respond to challenges, and how you choose to see your future. When you have faith, you're walking through life with a deep knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. You trust the process. You let go of the need to control the how and surrender to the why. This frequency of faith is not about wishing for something. It's about feeling that it's already yours. It's knowing that the desires you have in your heart are a reflection of your true potential, waiting for the right moment to materialize. Faith pulls in the impossible and makes it feel like the most natural thing in the world. When you truly trust in yourself and the universe, doors open effortlessly and obstacles seem smaller. It's like a vibration that starts within you and ripples outward into everything you experience. And here's the kicker. The more you believe in the unseen, the more it shows up in your life. Faith is an energy that doesn't ask for proof. It demands results. When you align your thoughts with faith, you're essentially declaring to the universe, I am ready for what's meant for me. You stop doubting, second-guessing, and wondering if you're enough. You already know you are. You trust that the universe has your back, and that everything you want is already on its way, even if you can't see it yet. And the best part, this frequency isn't something that can be turned on and turned off at will. It's a constant vibration that you either align with or resist. Your faith isn't measured by how loudly you speak about your dreams. It's about how you feel on a deeper level. You can have all the goals in the world, but if you don't believe in your ability to achieve them, that energy will never match what's needed to bring them into your life. Faith is not just an idea, it's a lifestyle. When you choose to step into faith, you choose to see the world with different eyes. Your reality shifts. Challenges become opportunities. The universe becomes your partner. So ask yourself, what are you choosing to believe in today? Are you tuning into a frequency of doubt and fear? Or are you aligning with a frequency of faith that draws everything you desire closer to you? Because the universe is always listening, always responding to your vibration. And when you raise it to the frequency of faith, magic starts to happen. Chapter 14. Receive like you already have. Imagine for a moment that you are standing on the edge of a beautiful cliff looking out at the most stunning view you've ever seen. The sun is setting, the air is warm, and you feel this overwhelming sense of peace in your soul. Now, take a deep breath and think about your deepest desires. Perhaps it's financial freedom, a beautiful relationship, success in your career, or even the simple joy of feeling at peace within yourself. Whatever it is, allow yourself to feel the emotions of already having it. Here's the catch. The universe responds to your vibration, not just your thoughts. If you want something to manifest in your life, you've got to move past the idea of, I'll be happy when I get it, and step into the energy of, I am already experiencing this. That doesn't mean pretending or faking it. It means living in the frequency of your desires as though they've already come to pass. Think about the way you feel when you truly believe that something good is coming your way, without a shred of doubt. When you're in that mindset, You don't worry about how it will happen or when. You feel a sense of trust and peace because deep down you know it's already yours. You're not waiting for the universe to bring it to you. Instead, you're aligning yourself with the vibration of already having it. And let me tell you, this is the most powerful shift you can make in your manifestation journey. When you shift into this state, you start to act differently. You make decisions from a place of abundance, not lack. You hold yourself with confidence, as though you already possess everything you desire. People begin to notice that shift in your energy. Doors begin to open, opportunities appear, and things flow to you effortlessly. It's like a magnetic pull. Once you're in alignment with your desires, they can't help but gravitate toward you. But here's the key. You can't receive what you don't believe you're worthy of. The energy of, "I'll receive when I'm ready," keeps you stuck in a cycle of waiting, never actually stepping into the fullness of who you truly are. You must embody the belief that you are already deserving of the life you dream of. This is not about being arrogant or entitled. It's about stepping into your power and acknowledging that the universe has already said yes to you. Receiving is not passive. It requires an open heart and a willingness to trust that what is meant for you is already on its way. The more you practice this mindset, living as though it's already yours, the quicker it will come to you. The universe operates on energy and frequency. When you vibrate at the frequency of your desires, they must manifest. It's the law. The more you trust in this, the more you'll see it in action. So, my friend, today is the day you stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect time or for everything to line up. Step into the energy of already having it and watch the magic unfold. Chapter 15. Your environment matters. Have you ever noticed how your mood shifts when you walk into a room full of energy? You might walk into a lively space and instantly feel energized, or you might step into a room filled with tension and feel it in your bones. That's the power of environment. The space around you, both physical and emotional, directly impacts your energy, mindset, and even your ability to manifest your desires. Think about it. Have you ever tried to work in a cluttered space? It's nearly impossible, right? When your surroundings are chaotic, it's like your mind starts to mirror that chaos. You might not even realize it, but it's affecting how you think, how you feel, and how you perform. Your environment in all its forms is constantly speaking to you. So, if you're wondering why you're struggling to manifest your dreams, the answer might be simpler than you think. You need to clear the space, literally and figuratively. This isn't just about keeping your desk tidy, although that's a great place to start. It's about surrounding yourself with energy that lifts you up. Have you ever considered how the people you spend time with, the media you consume, or the energy in your home influences your ability to receive? The people around you should encourage your growth, not feed into your doubts. If you find yourself constantly surrounded by negativity or people who don't support your vision, it's time to make a shift. You don't need to cut people off, but you can protect your space. Set boundaries. Spend more time with people who inspire you, support you, and remind you of your limitless potential. Now let's talk about your home. Is it a place where you feel calm, inspired, and ready to create? Or does it feel cluttered, overwhelming, or disconnected from who you truly are? Your living space can either help you align with your dreams or act as a block to your success. Start by creating an environment that reflects the life you want to live. Surround yourself with things that make you feel abundant, peaceful, and motivated. Whether it's plants, artwork, or just a clean space, the energy around you can either be your greatest ally or your biggest obstacle. But it's not just the physical environment, it's also the emotional one. The energy you hold within yourself is just as important. If your inner world is filled with fear, guilt, or doubt, that will seep into your outer world too. So, if you're serious about manifesting your desires, you've got to work on creating both an external and internal environment that supports your dreams. If there's a disconnect between what you want and where you are emotionally, that's where the blocks come in. This is a lifelong practice. It's not just about throwing out a few old things or cutting ties with people who drain you. It's about creating a living, breathing space inside and out that supports who you are becoming. Your environment should be a reflection of your vision, not your past. When you start to make space for the life you desire, The universe can't help but show up with the things, people, and opportunities you need to thrive. Remember, you are the average of the people you surround yourself with, and the energy in your space is constantly influencing you. So, take a look around. What's in your environment that's lifting you up, and what's weighing you down? It's time to clear the clutter, internally and externally, and make room for the abundance, peace, and love you truly deserve. Chapter 16. What you speak. You summon. Have you ever noticed how your words have a way of shaping your world? It's not just a feel-good saying. It's the truth. What you speak with your mouth, you invite into your life. Words aren't just sounds or letters strung together. They are vibrations, energy in motion. Every time you speak, you're sending out a frequency into the universe, and the universe is always listening, always responding. Think about it. Have you ever had a moment when you said something negative like, "I'll never be able to do this," or "This is too hard," and then, sure enough, the situation became exactly what you feared? On the flip side, how about the times you've said something like, "I am capable of this," or "I'm going to figure this out," and then found the strength, clarity, or opportunity you needed? Words are spells, and you cast them every single day. This isn't about the magic in the words themselves. It's about the energy you infuse them with. If you constantly say things like, "I'm broke," "I'm unlucky," or "Nothing ever goes right for me," you're aligning yourself with that frequency. You're summoning more lack, more struggle, more frustration into your life. It's like you're constantly sending a message to the universe saying, "Please bring me more of this," because the universe, in its infinite wisdom, responds to what you send out. But here's the good news. You get to choose your words. You can speak words of power, words of abundance, and words of love, and the universe will respond in kind. When you speak affirmations like, "I am worthy of love and success," or "I attract opportunities easily," you're tapping into a universal flow that's already here, waiting for you to recognize it. The universe doesn't differentiate between good or bad words. It just picks up on the energy you're emitting and brings you more of that energy. It's the law of attraction at work. What we speak, we invite into our lives. The key is being intentional with our words. Start paying attention to the things you say on a daily basis and ask yourself, am I speaking life into my dreams, or am I speaking death into them? Every time you talk, you're planting seeds for your future, so make sure the seeds you're planting are the ones that will grow into the life you want. Here's the secret. If you want to change your reality, start by changing your words. Speak with confidence. Speak with gratitude. Speak as though you've already received the things you desire. Because when you speak with intention and purpose, you summon the life that's meant for you. It's that simple. Chapter 17. Imagine it until it feels real. Have you ever sat in a quiet space and just let your mind wander, imagining the life you've always dreamed of? It might sound simple, but there's incredible power in those moments. The truth is, your imagination is one of your most powerful tools for manifestation. It's not just about wishful thinking. It's about creating a vivid picture of the life you want to live so deeply that it begins to feel as real as the air you breathe. Imagine this. You're holding your dream job, living in that perfect home, traveling to all the places you've always wanted to visit. You can feel the warmth of the sun on your face, hear the laughter of your loved ones around you, taste the excitement of your daily life. It's so real that when you close your eyes, it's like you're already there. It's no longer a distant dream. It's a reality that exists in the here and now inside your mind. This is the essence of manifestation. What you focus on, and how deeply you believe in it, is what shapes your reality. But here's the catch. You must feel it. It's not enough to just visualize. You must engage all of your senses and emotions in the process. Imagine not just seeing the success, but feeling the joy, the relief, the satisfaction. Picture yourself embracing that life with gratitude, knowing it's already yours. Many people make the mistake of only envisioning the end result without truly feeling it. The truth is, The universe doesn't respond to mere thoughts. It responds to the energy you emit. And the energy you emit is rooted in how deeply you feel your desires. When you can feel that dream as if it's already in your life, the universe has no choice but to match that frequency and bring it to you. The beauty of this process is that you don't need to have all the details figured out. You don't need to know exactly how it will happen. The magic lies in the belief that it will happen, in the trust that the universe is already working on your behalf. Your job is to show up mentally and emotionally, to give yourself permission to dream big, and to feel deserving of all that you're imagining. Take a moment right now and close your eyes. Picture the life you desire. Really see it. Feel it. Let your heart swell with excitement as if it's happening right this moment. The more you practice this, the more real it becomes. Your mind doesn't know the difference between what's happening in your reality and what's happening in your imagination. It only responds to what you believe. So, when you imagine it until it feels real. Not just as a fleeting thought, but as a living, breathing reality in your heart. And watch as the universe begins to align with the dreams you've nurtured in your mind and soul. The life you've always wanted isn't out of reach. It's already here, just waiting for you to embrace it. Chapter 18. Take inspired, not panicked, action. When you're in the process of manifesting your dreams, one of the most crucial things to understand is that not all action is created equal. Inspired action is the key, not frantic, panicked movement that's born out of fear or desperation. Here's the truth. When we panic, we act out of a sense of urgency and worry, believing that if we don't move fast enough, we'll miss out. But this energy doesn't align us with the flow of the universe. It actually pushes the very thing we want further away. Instead, inspired action comes from a place of calm, trust, and alignment. It's when you take a step because it feels right, not because you feel like you have no other choice. It's about following the whispers of your intuition, listening to those moments when you're pulled to act, even if the next step isn't entirely clear. And the magic happens in those moments, when you're in tune with your heart, not chasing after what you think you should do. When you take inspired action, you're working with the universe, not against it. You're creating space for things to unfold naturally, trusting that everything is happening in divine timing. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to race. All you have to do is listen to that quiet voice within and take the next step that feels good, no matter how small. This is the secret to staying in flow, to letting things come to you effortlessly without the stress of pushing or worrying. It's the difference between chasing your dreams and attracting them. Inspired action feels effortless. It feels like you're walking in alignment with your purpose, and every step you take brings you closer to what you want without resistance or pressure. This is how you create the life you desire, by acting from a place of inner peace, knowing that the universe has your back every step of the way. Chapter 19. Release the how. One of the biggest traps we fall into when manifesting our dreams is getting caught up in the how. We spend so much time stressing over the details, trying to figure out exactly how our dreams will come to life, that we forget the most important part, the belief that it's already on its way. When you're focused on the how, you're limiting the universe's ability to bring it to you in ways you can't even imagine yet. Trust me, the how isn't your job. It's the universe's. You're here to desire, believe, and receive. When we obsess over the how, we are essentially telling the universe, I don't trust you to figure it out for me. Think about it. How often do you stress over the details of your dream and wonder how everything will line up perfectly? That's because you're trying to control a process that's meant to flow freely. The truth is, you don't need to know how things will happen. You just need to believe that they will. The universe has its own timing, its own plan, and it's far bigger and wiser than anything we could dream up ourselves. By releasing the how, you create space for unexpected opportunities and miracles to show up. You're not limiting your potential by trying to figure out every step. Instead, you're opening the door for things to come together in ways you never could have planned. It's time to stop thinking of the journey as something you must control and start seeing it as something to trust. Release your attachment to the outcome and focus on the feeling of already having what you desire. The universe is fully capable of bringing it to you, but only when you stop trying to force the pieces together yourself. Your job is to hold the vision, stay aligned with your purpose, and take inspired action. Let go of the how and embrace the what and the why. When you let go of the need to know how things will unfold, you make space for magic to happen. Chapter 20. Stop settling for safe. It's easy to play it safe. In fact, it's tempting, isn't it? The world tells us that safety means security, that staying in our comfort zones protects us from the unknown, from the chaos, from the risk of failure. But what if I told you that safe is actually the biggest risk of all? The longer we stay in safe spaces, the more we abandon our true desires, our dreams, and our potential. Safe keeps us small. It keeps us stuck. It tells us that mediocrity is enough, that average is okay, and that we should just be thankful for what we have, even if it's not really what we want. Safe is the quiet whisper that says, it's good enough. But deep down, you know it's not. You know you're meant for more. You're meant to rise, to create, to push the boundaries of what you think is possible. Yes, it's terrifying. Yes, it feels uncomfortable. But that discomfort is the sign that you're growing, that you're stretching into the person you were always meant to become. You were not born to play small. You were born to challenge, to stretch, to test the limits of what life can offer. The magic happens when you step outside the lines, when you take risks and leap into the unknown with faith that life will catch you. Every time you settle for safe, you're closing the door on your own greatness. You're telling the universe, I'm fine here, even though there's so much more waiting for you. Stop waiting for permission. The world doesn't need you to be perfect or safe. It needs you to be brave, to step into the unknown with courage and trust. You were never meant to live a life that doesn't set your soul on fire. So stop settling. It's time to demand more from life. It's time to take the leap and trust that everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of safe. Chapter 21. Trust the detours. Sometimes, life doesn't go according to plan. You know the feeling. You set out on a journey with a clear destination, but then suddenly, you find yourself on an entirely different road. You might get frustrated, confused, or even angry, wondering why things aren't unfolding the way you thought they would. You had a vision, a blueprint, and now it feels like everything's falling apart. But here's the thing. The detours are part of the plan. If you've ever looked back on your life and seen moments where everything seemed to go wrong, only to realize later that they led you to exactly where you needed to be, you understand this truth. Maybe you didn't get the job you thought was perfect, but it opened doors to something even better. Maybe a relationship didn't work out, but it led you to discover a new version of yourself. Or maybe a path you were so sure about took an unexpected twist and you ended up in a place you never imagined. Yet it felt more right than anything else could have. Trusting the detours means surrendering control. It means understanding that life doesn't always follow the linear, predictable course we try to map out. What we often see as obstacles or setbacks are, in fact, redirections, signals guiding us to where we need to be. These detours are not punishment or failure. They're invitations to grow, to learn, and to evolve into the person we need to become in order to receive what we truly want. If you stop seeing the detours as deviations, you can start seeing them as opportunities for realignment. They might not make sense in the moment, but when you look back, you'll realize they were exactly what you needed to prepare you for what was waiting around the corner. Trust the process even when you can't see the whole picture. Life has a way of working itself out in ways you might not be able to understand right now, but it's always unfolding with your highest good in mind. The detours are where you meet. The lessons, the breakthroughs, and sometimes the people who are destined to change your life. Don't fight them. Instead, lean into them with faith. When you're open to the detours, you're showing the universe that you trust its timing and its wisdom. You're allowing the path to unfold in its own perfect way, and that's when the magic happens. Remember, The best parts of your journey might not always be the ones you planned for. They might just be the unexpected turns that end up taking you exactly where you needed to go. Chapter 22. You were never meant to play smally. Want you to pause for a moment and think about this. How many times in your life have you held back from going after something truly big, something you knew was meant for you simply because you thought you weren't ready or that it wasn't the right time? Maybe you convinced yourself that your dreams were too big, too wild, or maybe you even told yourself that others were more deserving. Sound familiar? Here's the truth. You were never meant to play small. The very fact that you have dreams, big dreams, means you were born for greatness. Your soul doesn't whisper these desires to you out of whim. It's telling you to rise up and claim them because they are your birthright. Society, family, and even our own self-doubt can often condition us to believe that we should stay small, stay within the lines. It tells us that pursuing bold dreams is risky or arrogant, that we need to wait for the perfect time before going after what we want. But here's what I need you to understand. The time will never feel perfect. There's no magic moment when everything aligns perfectly. That moment, that right time, is now. It's always been now. What holds most people back isn't a lack of talent or opportunity. It's the fear of being too much. It's the thought that by striving for something extraordinary, you might be asking for more than you deserve. But let me tell you something, and I need you to listen closely. You are worthy of every big dream you have. You were created for something more than settling. When you shrink yourself to fit into the world's box, you're doing a disservice not only to yourself, but also to the people who are meant to be touched by your gifts, your energy, and your message. Playing small is the trap. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of comfort that isn't truly fulfilling. You were meant to step into your full power. You were meant to stretch, to grow, to evolve. So often, we hold ourselves back because we think success is only for the select few, the lucky ones. But here's the truth. Success is not a lottery ticket. Success is about alignment, belief, and the willingness to step into what feels scary. You are not too much. You're not too loud. You're not too ambitious. The world is hungry for people who step into their purpose without apologizing for it. Your light is needed now more than ever, and the longer you hide it, the longer the world waits for what only you can offer. Playing small isn't humble, it's fear disguised as modesty. It's time to take off the chains of limitation and step boldly into the arena of life. The truth is, the world doesn't need more people who blend in. It needs more people who stand tall, who live fully, and who shine unapologetically. So I ask you, are you ready to stop playing small? Are you ready to claim your power, to step into the bigness of who you are? You have everything you need to succeed right now. It's in your heart. It's in your hands. Don't wait another minute. The world is waiting for you to show up. Be bold. Be brave. Be you. Chapter 23. Healing is part of manifesting. Manifestation isn't just about thinking positive thoughts or wishing for your dreams to come true. It's about aligning your energy with the desires you want to bring into your life. But here's the catch. You can't truly align with abundance, love, or success if you're carrying around unhealed wounds from the past. Healing isn't just some extra step. It's an essential part of the process. Think of it this way. Manifestation is like building a house. If the foundation is cracked, no matter how beautiful the house looks, it's never going to be stable. 2. Many people get stuck on the surface level of manifestation, trying to visualize and affirm their dreams while ignoring the emotional baggage they've been carrying for years. Those old beliefs about not being good enough, not deserving love, or feeling like things are always out of reach create invisible walls between you and your desires. So no matter how hard you try to manifest, there's a part of you deep down that's holding you back without you even realizing it. Healing doesn't mean you have to go through an intense therapy session or spend years unraveling your past. It's much simpler than that, although it's still very deep. Healing is about recognizing what's no longer serving you and letting go. It's about understanding that the past doesn't have to define your present or future. When you heal, you make space for new, better things to come in, things that are more aligned with who you are becoming, not who you were. Start by acknowledging what hurts. Ask yourself, what am I still carrying with me that no longer serves me? It might be a limiting belief, an old trauma, or even a past failure you're still holding on to. You might not even realize it's there, but it shows up in the way you react to situations or how you approach your dreams. Once you bring it into your awareness, you can start releasing it through journaling, meditation, or simply having a compassionate conversation with yourself. As you heal, you'll notice that the things you've been manifesting start to come with greater ease. That's because when you heal, your energy becomes clear and magnetic. You're no longer pushing against your own blocks. You're not fighting the flow of life. Instead, you're flowing with it. And when you're in flow, everything becomes possible. Manifestation isn't about forcing your desires into reality. It's about removing the emotional, mental, and energetic blocks that are preventing your desires from finding their way to you. Healing is part of that process because when you heal, you get out of your own way. And that's when the magic happens. Chapter 24. Detach to receive, let go of the need to control every outcome, and you'll be surprised at how quickly the universe starts to deliver what you've been asking for. It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? In a world where we're taught to work hard and grind for every little thing, the idea of detaching feels almost like giving up. But here's the truth. When you hold on too tightly, when you grip your desires with fear and desperation, you push them away. Think about it this way. Imagine you're holding a beautiful flower in your hands. If you grip it too tightly, you'll crush it. But if you hold it gently, it can bloom and thrive in your palms. The same goes for your dreams. Desire is powerful, but clinging to it out of fear of not getting it will create resistance. When you can surrender the how, the when, and the who, you create space for your dreams to flow in. Detaching doesn't mean you stop caring about your goals or giving up on them. It simply means you trust that what's meant for you will come at the right time. This trust in the process, this faith that everything is unfolding as it should, is what allows abundance to flow freely into your life. And here's the secret. The less you need something to happen, the more likely it is to show up. The universe knows what's best for you, and often the very thing you're clinging to might not be the best version of what's possible for you. So take a deep breath, exhale, and remember, detachment is not about being indifferent. It's about letting go of control and allowing the universe to do its magic. It's a delicate balance of wanting something without suffocating it with need. You attract what you allow into your life, and when you're open and unattached, you create the perfect conditions for your desires to bloom, effortlessly and beautifully. Chapter 25. Abundance is your natural state. Abundance is not something you have to chase, beg for, or feel guilty about desiring. It's your birthright. From the moment you arrived in this world, you were given the capacity to live a life full of richness, whether in love, health, wealth, or happiness. But somewhere along the way, you were taught that there's only so much to go around, or that you're not worthy of the abundance you dream of. This belief doesn't just limit your opportunities, it distorts the very essence of who you are. Think about it for a moment. Nature doesn't try to make abundance happen. A tree doesn't stress about producing enough fruit for everyone. It grows, it thrives, and by its very nature, abundance flows from it effortlessly. You're no different. You were designed to grow, to thrive, and to attract all the goodness life has to offer. Yet most people live with a scarcity mindset, constantly feeling like there's never enough. This fear of not having enough is what keeps them from the abundance that is already available. When you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance, you start seeing opportunities, synchronicities, and signs that you are on the right path. Abundance flows to you when you open yourself to it, when you release the blocks you've placed in your own way. These blocks often come from past experiences, old conditioning, and limiting beliefs about money, relationships, and self-worth. They keep you stuck in the belief that abundance is something rare, something you have to work too hard for, or something others deserve more than you. It's time to stop seeing abundance as a distant dream and start embracing it as your truth. You were born worthy of all the wealth, health, love, and joy that life has to offer. But in order to let that abundance flow, you must first recognize it's your natural state. When you align with this truth, when you begin to feel worthy of abundance, expect it, and believe it's already yours, you shift your energy. This is where the magic happens. Every time you choose gratitude over worry, love over fear, and faith over doubt, you're actively expanding your capacity to receive. The universe has infinite ways of bringing abundance into your life, but it's waiting for you to give it permission. Permission to be wealthy in all areas, permission to experience joy without guilt, and permission to accept all that you desire. As you begin to understand that abundance is your natural state, you'll stop forcing and start flowing. You'll realize that you're not striving for something outside yourself, but awakening to what has always been within. Abundance isn't a destination, it's a way of being, a way of living. And once you embrace that truth, you'll see the world respond to you in ways you never thought possible. So right now, take a deep breath. Let go of the notion that there's never enough, that you have to fight for what you want, or that you don't deserve more. You are abundant, and all the goodness you desire is already on its way to you. Now, open your arms wide and let it in. Chapter 26. The universe loves clarity. If there's one thing the universe loves, it's clarity. The more clearly you can express your desires, the more the universe can conspire to bring them to you. Think of it like ordering at a restaurant. If you walk up and say, "I want something good to eat," you might get a salad, a sandwich, or even something you didn't expect. But if you say, "I'd love a grilled chicken salad with extra avocado, please," the kitchen knows exactly what to prepare. The same principle applies to your life. When you're vague about your dreams, the universe doesn't know what to send. It's like sending out an unclear signal, one that can easily be misinterpreted. But when you're specific, you're sending out a clear request, and that's when magic happens. It's in this clarity that the universe finds its way to deliver exactly what you need, not just a random assortment of things that may or may not serve you. Clarity isn't just about knowing what you want, it's about knowing why you want. It's about understanding the deeper desire beneath the surface. For example, it's not about wanting more money. It's about wanting freedom, security, the ability to support your family, or the opportunity to travel and experience life in new ways. When you get clear on why you want something, the universe starts aligning the pieces to make it happen. But here's the catch. Clarity requires action. You can't just think it into existence while sitting back and waiting for it to show up on your doorstep. You've got to take action that aligns with your desires. When you have a clear vision of where you want to go, you start taking the right steps to get there. It's like mapping out a road trip. If you know your destination clearly, you can plan your route, pack your bags, and get in the car. But if you don't know where you're headed, you might drive around in circles, wasting gas and time. The good news is that clarity is something you can work on daily. It doesn't come all at once, but every small step you take towards understanding yourself and your desires brings you closer. And with each step, the universe gets clearer on how to help you get there. The clearer you are, the more effortlessly things will flow toward you. Opportunities will present themselves. People will show up to support you, and things will fall into place in ways that feel almost magical. If you're feeling stuck or unsure of what you want, take a moment to reflect. Sit with your thoughts. Close your eyes and allow yourself the space to dream without limitation. Don't censor yourself. Get clear on the details, even the small ones. The clearer you get, the stronger your energy will become, and the more the universe will respond. Remember, clarity isn't just a tool for manifestation. It's a tool for living a more intentional, focused life. In the end, the universe is always working in your favor, but it needs a clear directive from you. So, don't be afraid to get specific about what you want and why you want it. The more precise your desires, the faster they'll come into your reality. When you take the time to be crystal clear, the universe can do the heavy lifting. And trust me, it loves to do that for you. Chapter 27. Evidence is everywhere. When you start tuning into the universe, you begin to realize that the evidence of your desires is all around you. It's easy to think that because you haven't seen the big manifestation yet, it's not on its way. But what if I told you that it already exists, and that it's been showing up in tiny ways you might have missed? Think about this for a moment. Have you ever wanted something? Maybe it was a job, a relationship, or an opportunity, and suddenly you start noticing people talking about it, seeing ads for it, or finding small coincidences that point you in that direction? Those little sparks aren't random. They're the universe's way of giving you hints, of showing you that what you've asked for is already on its way. The universe speaks in the language of signs, and if you're paying attention, you'll start to see them everywhere. It's so easy to dismiss these signs as coincidences, but when you begin to trust that they mean something, that's when the magic happens. Let's talk about evidence in terms of a goal, something you're actively working toward. Whether it's that dream house, a new business venture, or even a new chapter in your life, if you look closely enough, evidence is already there. The job openings, the conversations, the articles that seem to pop up at just the right time, those aren't just flukes. They're confirmations that what you want is not only possible, it's already on the path to you. Here's the thing. Evidence often doesn't look like what you expect it to. It's not always going to be that dream car driving down your street or that $1 million check in your mailbox. Though hey, wouldn't that be nice? Sometimes, it's the small things that show up first, the ones that get you a little excited, but don't seem big enough to be the thing you've been asking for. But in reality, these are the stepping stones, the breadcrumbs leading you closer to what you've been visualizing. So how do you start seeing this evidence in your life? It's simple. Shift your perspective. Begin to expect signs, synchronicities, and opportunities to appear. When you do, your mind becomes a magnet for them. You'll start to notice patterns, themes, and connections that you weren't paying attention to before. The key is to trust that these things are not accidents. They're the universe's way of saying, you're on the right path. Keep going. This is where the concept of alignment comes in. The more aligned you are with your desires, the more the universe will provide you with what you need. It's like a cosmic puzzle where every piece fits together perfectly, even if you don't see the whole picture yet. Every small piece of evidence is a message. You're getting closer. So next time you spot something that feels like a sign, no matter how small, take a moment to celebrate. Don't brush it off. Acknowledge it. Say thank you to the universe. You're being shown that your desires are real. They're happening and they're manifesting in ways you can't always predict. And here's the most important part. When you start seeing evidence everywhere, you also start believing that it's possible that your dreams are already on their way and that all you have to do is stay in the flow. Chapter 28. Act as if. Until it's true, so here's the thing. Manifestation doesn't just start with wanting something, it begins with the belief that it's already happening. You need to act as if. And before your mind screams, but I don't have it yet. Let's pause for a moment. Think about this. How would you behave if you already had everything you've ever dreamed of? Would you stand taller? Would you speak with more confidence? Would you walk into every room like you know you're meant to be there? This isn't about faking it or pretending to be something you're not. It's about embodying the energy of someone who already has what they want. It's about showing up as the person you need to be to receive that blessing. You know that feeling, when you've got something on your mind and you can almost taste it? It's like you're on the edge of knowing it's yours, but the universe is waiting for you to take that first step. It's like dating. If you were already in a healthy, loving relationship, how would you show up for yourself? Would you still put up with bad habits or things that drain your energy? Would you settle for less than you deserve? Acting as if is powerful because it rewires your brain and aligns your actions with your desires. You start to feel worthy and start expecting the best. It's not just about changing what you do, but changing who you are becoming. As you act as if, you begin to believe it. And when you believe it fully, it starts to show up in your life in ways you never thought possible. So don't wait for things to be perfect. Don't wait for the signs to be clearer. Don't wait for everything to fall into place before you step into the best version of yourself. The truth is, you'll never feel ready, but that's okay, because the universe isn't waiting for your perfect timing. It's waiting for you to trust the process, act from a place of confidence, and watch everything else fall into place. Acting as if isn't about pretending, it's about aligning with who you are meant to be. And when you do that, the life you've been dreaming about, it's already yours. Chapter 29. Your inner world creates the outer. Have you ever noticed how your outer world reflects your inner state? Think about it. When you're feeling joyful, everything around you seems brighter. People smile more. Opportunities open up. You walk down the street like the universe is aligned with you. On the flip side, when you're stressed, frustrated, or anxious, even the smallest thing can feel like a mountain. It's like your outer reality is a mirror reflecting exactly what's going on inside. This is no coincidence. Your inner world shapes the reality you experience. It all starts with your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Imagine that your mind is a radio, constantly broadcasting a signal into the universe. If you're sending out frequencies of fear, doubt, and negativity, that's what the world responds to. But when you consciously choose to cultivate thoughts of abundance, love, and self-worth, the universe shifts. Doors that once seemed closed suddenly swing wide open. People show up to help. The opportunities you've been waiting for appear. But here's the kicker. This process doesn't require a magic wand or a big external change. It begins within. It's like planting seeds of positivity and allowing them to grow into your life. When you cultivate a mindset of possibility, you create space for miracles. When you embrace self-love, you attract people who reflect that love back to you. And when you trust that everything is unfolding for your highest good, you begin to see the universe working in your favor. But let's be real for a second. This isn't always easy. Our minds have a tendency to wander into negativity, especially when things aren't going according to plan. The trick is to catch yourself in those moments and gently redirect your focus. It's about being aware of the thoughts that don't serve you and replacing them with empowering ones. This isn't about ignoring reality. It's about choosing how you respond to it. Every time you shift your thoughts, you change your vibration, and every shift in vibration brings you closer to the life you want. Think about the moments in your life when everything seemed to fall into place. I'm talking about those times when you felt on top of the world, completely in flow, and you couldn't help but think, how did all this come together so effortlessly? That's the result of your inner world aligning with the outer. When your energy is clear, positive, and open, life has a way of reflecting that back to you. It's a beautiful natural law of the universe. So here's the challenge. What if, starting right now, you chose to believe that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state? What if you took full responsibility for the energy you're putting out into the world? The next time something goes wrong, instead of blaming circumstances or other people, ask yourself, what energy am I carrying inside? What thoughts am I feeding? Is there a belief I need to shift in order to see a different reality? The answers will come. The truth is, everything around you is a result of your own energy. You attract what you are, not what you want. If you want more love, kindness, and abundance in your life, start by cultivating those qualities inside yourself. When you feel peace, peace will find you. When you radiate joy, joy will come back to you in unexpected ways. Your inner world is the soil, and the outer world is the garden it grows into. What will you choose to plant today? Chapter 30. You were born to receive. You've spent so much of your life giving, striving, and working hard. It's become second nature to focus on what you can do for others, to serve, to create, to make your mark. But here's the truth you've been forgetting. You were born to receive. Not just to give, not just to work tirelessly, but to receive the blessings, the love, the joy, and the abundance that are your birthright. You may have been taught that receiving is selfish, or perhaps you were conditioned to believe that to receive means to be weak or undeserving. But that's a lie. It's a lie that has kept you small, kept you from stepping fully into the greatness that is waiting for you. Think about it for a moment. What if everything you've been longing for, everything you've dreamed of, is already on its way to you? What if the only thing standing in the way of receiving it all is your own belief that you're not worthy of it? You are worthy. The universe doesn't give to you because of what you've done. It gives to you because of who you are. You are a child of the stars, an expression of life itself, and you deserve to live in the flow of abundance. The problem is, somewhere along the way, you've been conditioned to believe you don't. You've been led to think that you must earn every single thing you receive, that you must prove yourself worthy before you can have anything good. But here's the secret. Receiving is not a transaction. It's not about paying for your blessings with hard work or proving you're good enough. It's about opening your heart and your mind to the truth that you are deserving right now of all that the universe has to offer. When you allow yourself to receive, you align with your true essence, your divine nature. This is not about materialism or selfishness. It's about tapping into the flow of life, the natural rhythm of abundance that is constantly surrounding you. It's about accepting that the love, the health, the success, and the joy that you desire are already yours to claim. But here's the catch. To receive, you must first let go. Let go of the fear, the doubts, and the limiting beliefs that keep you from fully embracing what is rightfully yours. Let go of the idea that you're not enough or that you don't deserve what you desire. Let go of the belief that the universe is somehow withholding from you. In truth, it's always been there, waiting for you to open up and allow it in. To truly receive, you need to trust in the process. You must trust that the universe is not holding anything back. Everything you need is already within you and is simply waiting to manifest in your life. And to receive it, you have to be open, fully present, and willing to step into the energy of abundance. The next time you find yourself struggling to earn your way to happiness, success, or love, remember this: you were born to receive. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to chase anything. You just have to be. Be open, be willing, be receptive, and allow the universe to give you everything you've ever wanted. Conclusion: desire is not something to be ashamed of. It is the fire that burns within you, urging you to reach for something greater. It is a sacred gift meant to guide you to your fullest potential. So today, give yourself permission to desire. Don't hold back. Your desires are the universe's way of speaking to you, showing you the path forward. The world is waiting for you to claim your dreams. Let your desires lead the way.